As they say in PIHL hockey, let's do that PIHL hockey. And we are coming at you trackside, you might say, from the Ice Castle Arena in Castle Shannon, Pennsylvania for PIHL Hockey Night Live, brought to you by Hydro Blocks here on 10 Band TV. And tonight for game one of our two-game Thursday night doubleheader, the Greater Latrobe Wildcats visit the reigning Class AA Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League Penguins Cup champions, the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I'm Matt Popchuk, and it is great to be back with my friends at 10 Band TV for another exciting Thursday night PIHL doubleheader. Latrobe and TJ gets us going here. Of course, we have Bishop Canavan and Carrick coming up here from the same venue in a little bit. But for the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, heavy is the head that wears the crown, that of Penguins Cup champions. Even when you are coached by a former king, as the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars are, John Zeiler, the former Los Angeles King and one of the earliest PIHL players to play in the NHL, took over the program as head coach in 2021. Last year, Thomas Jefferson pulling off the Western Pennsylvania equivalent of the Miracle on Manchester to lead the Jaguars to their first Penguins Cup championship in 22 years. Zeiler, a former three-time Pennsylvania Cup champion himself, winning 3 in a row with the Jaguars as a player at the turn of the century, is trying to lead TJ currently out of the muck and mire of the Class AA standings. Thomas Jefferson in a good spot right now schedule-wise. This is in the midst of 3 of 4 at home for the Jaguars. 4 of their first 5 were away from the Ice Castle. Their last time here, their only other time here, was a 6-3 loss to South Fayette back on October 13th. So no place like home for the Jaguars, who look to get back to the 500 mark as they come in with a 2-3 overall record, good for 8th place in PIHL Class AA. And Jake Stock, the younger brother of one of the Penguins Cup championship heroes for last year's Jaguars team, is one of the young faces being counted on to lead this year's iteration of the Jags. Stock wearing number 21 in white, black, and gold tonight, the junior forward, leading a Thomas Jefferson group that graduated a lot of those key players, pardon me, from that Penguins Cup championship team. Stock currently riding a 3-game goal streak for Thomas Jefferson. And it's been really offense by committee for the Jaguars. Ryder McGurk, who was also a player who played an integral role in that epic Penguins Cup comeback, he returns. He's one of the few returning members of that Penguins Cup team, and he comes back for his junior season. He comes in with 3 goals and 5 points overall. He scored 3 goals and 1 assist in both of the games TJ has won, and he hadn't played the last couple of games for the Jaguars. Number 44 in white, Coach Zeiler certainly looking forward to seeing him back in the lineup, you would imagine. And the Latrobe Wildcats since 2016, led by former Sarah Catholic standout Josh Werner, who spent some time with the Ringgold program before taking over as head coach of the Ice Cats. Werner starting a recent trend of former PIHL players coaching in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League ranks. And Werner's Wildcats come in with an overall mark of 3-2, good for 5th place in the PIHL Class AA standings. They too have a very balanced attack, and it is led by Peyton Myers. Myers coming in as a senior wearing number 72 in black for the visitors tonight with 4 goals and 8 assists, 12 points. He is currently 7th in Class AA in points, 5th in assists, and he's coming off a big night against Mars back on November 10th, the team's most recent game, an 11-3 victory by the Cats. And Myers had a goal and 4 helpers in that contest. The big question for the Ice Cats, though, is who's going to start in goal. They've done a great job rotating Connor Eddy, the senior, and J.M. Krayak, the junior, both playing very well early in the season, both with a high save percentage. Krayak in the top 5 for save percentage among eligible Class AA candidates with his .882 mark, in fact. So we'll keep an eye on who gets the nod between the pipes tonight, as they've been more or less a goaltending carousel, if you will, for Coach Warner's team. Two of the most fabled programs in PIHL Class AA, the Latrobe Wildcats, won 3 straight Penguins Cups and state titles in the early aughts. The Thomas Jefferson Jaguars, as I said, the reigning Penguins Cup champions, and they had a dynastic run of their own just over 20 years ago. A lot of great players coming and going through the halls of both schools in the last 20 years, and both schools trying to get back to those dominant ways in a very balanced AA classification this year that includes 11 teams. So Thomas Jefferson on a fine line early in the season and looking to stay on the correct side of that line as we approach the Thanksgiving holiday here in Western Pennsylvania. Latrobe in the midst of playing 3 of 4 on the road. 4 of their first 5 were back home in the confines of Kirk Nevin Arena. The last true road game the Wildcats played away from that venue was a 3-1 loss to Penn Trafford back on the 1st of November at the Palmer Imaging Arena in Delmont. So for Latrobe, it's been a long time coming being the road team, and for Thomas Jefferson, hoping to taste the comforts of home and taste victory here in the Ice Castle tonight, as we are just about ready to go here at the trackside rink on a chilly 30-degree night in the South Hills of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we don't mean to dampen the mood at all, but it isn't much better in here. But we are bundled up and fighting the good fight as best we can. We hope you're keeping warm wherever you are, and we thank you for joining us tonight on 10-Band TV or on Roku or on your Amazon Fire Stick, however you prefer to watch us. Once again, Latrobe and TJ almost ready to go here in game number 1 of 2 that you'll see on our streaming airwaves tonight. Game number 2, Bishop Canevin Crusaders and Carrick Cougars, a Division II matchup, will be our nightcap. The last time these two teams met, they were in separate divisions because last year Class AA had separate divisions as opposed to just being one standings block. Thomas Jefferson was victorious in that contest 6-1 at the Kirk Nevin Arena back on December 16th of 2021. Referee Snyder ready to drop the puck. And it'll be Peyton Myers, the Latrobe captain, getting set against Ryan Gallus, the Thomas Jefferson centerman. Both benches fired up. And the puck is dropped, and game number 1 is on here at the Ice Castle. The Jaguars moving from right to left on your television, computer, or mobile device to begin the contest. Dump it into Latrobe territory. On the back check for Latrobe is number 61, Bryant Dumnick, the sophomore defenseman. Play to the corner, and out in front, just underneath a Thomas Jefferson stick, that of Ashton Collar, would have been a good chance for the Jags right on the doorstep of the Latrobe netminder, who is Connor Ketty, the senior, getting the nod tonight. Jaguars stumble along the boards in their own end near side, but they are able to eventually escort the puck out of their own third of the rink. Lance Smith, the senior, bringing it up through center, dumps it deep into the far corner for Landon Hintemeyer, Played along the half wall by Latrobe up to the center red line and beyond. Connor McCann up ahead, a little too far for the reach of Scott Allen. Wildcats go D to D, but it's given away to McGurk right out in front, but he couldn't tee it up before the Latrobe back check got to it. Behind his own net, it's played by Noah Gaidos. And turnover to the Jaguars. Nick Best with it. Immediately double teamed and ridden into the glass. McGurk trying to offer support. He can't. And here comes Latrobe the other way. Here's Harvey with it for the Wildcats. Fletcher Harvey is poke checked and dispossessed as Latrobe taps it back into TJ territory. Retreating defensively for the Jaguars is Brian Spencer, the sophomore, as it's played back to the red line. Bodies collide between the benches as Latrobe approaches TJ territory, and they just flip it up into the protective netting and out of play. That was Jack Beddick, the senior, the defenseman, airmailing that puck, so we'll get the face-off just outside the Thomas Jefferson blue line with not quite 2 minutes gone by in a scoreless first period. Wildcats win the face-off and send it deep. Derek Schliebner behind his own net. The freshman on here for John Zeiler's team early in the game. Put off the glass and up towards center but not out. Snapshot from the point. Good save made there by Aiden Doherty, who's played every minute for Thomas Jefferson thus far. Shot again from the left point taken by Caleb Trice. That's blocked immediately. Never made it remotely close. Nate Hutchko in the near corner for Latrobe behind the Thomas Jefferson goal line where it's poked at by the Jaguars defensively. Andrew Oliver, the junior, who had 2 goals and an assist, the last time these teams played each other, helps win possession for TJ. Jaguars try to go back to center, but it's turned over to Beddick. Jack Beddick sends it behind the Jags goal. Hard bump along the far boards there by Liam Mahoney, the sophomore. And Thomas Jefferson takes back possession of this puck, and they send it up ahead to Jake Stock. Stock between the circles. Stock from up high trying to send it down low for Oliver, but that pass was broken up immediately. And the Wildcats will gain the red line and dump it in as Josh Warner wants a line change here early in the period. Amatucci with it right point for Latrobe, but couldn't get this puck deep, and a possible 2-on-1 with Stock leading the way. Stock driving the net, but a good poke check there by Amatucci, trailing the play to break up a potential chance for Thomas Jefferson. Lance Smith, the senior defenseman and team captain, turned it over, and a puck swallowed right there by Aiden Doherty to force a faceoff. Doherty, a junior, in goal for all 254 minutes for TJ this year, an .824 save percentage, .361 goals against average, and a 2-3 record, of course. Shot from distance taken by Dumnick is swallowed again by Doherty. They face it off, same spot. Peyton Myers going in for it. TJ wins this face-off, however. And Connor McCann will play it near side, but give it right away to Peyton Myers, the Latrobe captain. No harm done, though, as Weiss brings it up over the Latrobe blue line. Nathan Weiss, the junior forward, into the corner after this puck, which is played by the Wildcats subsequently. Cats coming in over the TJ blue line, just barely onside, but a good hard check there on Nick Menelakos as the Wildcats are forced to retreat to play this puck. Menelakos dumping it into Jaguars territory. Smith back to play it defensively for TJ. Up for Weiss. Nathan Weiss up for center. Had Southmeyer, who drags that skate to stay onside. Weiss going to take it himself. Shoots it off the shoulder of Connor Ketty, and that goes wide of the net. Smith going D to D with defensive partner Zach Strutt, his fellow senior. 7-man senior class for John Zeiler this season. This TJ team hit very hard by graduation after that Penguins Cup championship victory and trying to get back in the race here in Class AA. Wildcats try to center this puck. They can. It's broken up. Thomas Jefferson with some tight man-on-man defense there as they get their transition game going. And trying to duck around a check there was the senior forward Kyle Seiler as this puck comes behind the Latrobe goal. And near side it'll be played by the Wildcats back to center for Amatucci. Amatucci over the line. He's ridden hard into the boards by Strutt. That knocks the puck loose, and now Strutt gets the worst of that hit in retaliation by Amatucci. Puck kept in at the center point by Rocco Marino. Jaguars forced to play it behind their own net, but they will skate it back through center. And with speed through center comes Brian Spencer. Puts it deep into Latrobe territory. Wildcats immediately pluck it away. And they did not quite gain the red line there, so this should be icing, and it is icing 6 minutes into a scoreless first period against the Ice Cats. Connor Ketty, as we get a better look at him, with the faceoff coming to his right. 102 minutes played, 889 on the save percentage. So, assuming he finishes the game tonight, he'll be eligible to be among the save percentage leaders in Class AA. Goals against average, a solid 2.0 and a 1-1 overall record as he makes a save on that center point blast from Spencer. Another faceoff coming up in Ice Cats territory, this time to Ketty's left. Won by the Jaguars, put behind the Cats net. Nick Guidos playing this puck defensively, couldn't get it out. Easy stick save made there by by Connor Ketty. And Latrobe counterattacking, or trying to, with Peyton Myers, but Myers unable to handle that lead pass. Has to take a hit to make the play in the far corner there. And Thomas Jefferson's going to get to this puck with little heavy lifting necessary. As one of the Wildcats lost an edge in his own end, Latrobe comes in over the TJ blue line. Cross-ice pass intended for Noah Guidos was broken up. And Thomas Jefferson playing this puck to the right of goal. Briefly gave it away there, and that allows Nick Menelakos to take it briefly in the corner before Thomas Jefferson takes it right back. McGurk watches this puck go back to center, where it's sent back into TJ territory by Jack Beddick. Wildcats gain the red line and send it deep. Reed West doing the honors there. Murphy dumped through center by the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. On the retreat, Caleb Trice for Latrobe. He is bumped hard by Liam Mahoney, the sophomore. Good puck battle going on here in the far corner as we approach the midpoint of a scoreless first period. 9:30 to go. Schliebner, that is Drew Schliebner, the elder Schliebner, the senior defenseman, playing this puck for TJ. It's given away to the Wildcats. Oh, but a misplay there by Fletcher Harvey allows Thomas Jefferson to escape. And getting on the ice just in the nick of time there is Lance Smith before Harvey could catch up to that loose puck. Smith going cross ice, almost intercepted. Oh, dangerous play there. Harvey barely unable to reach that one. And here comes Smith over the line. Smith going coast to coast behind the Latrobe net now, playing it on his backhand to no one in particular. And the Ice Cats are going to be content to ice this puck, it appears. And that will be the case with 8:41 left in the first. And on the ensuing faceoff, this tie-up is going to be won by TJ. A quick shot off the draw from the right circle. Taken by Nathan Weiss, is stopped by Connor Ketty. That puck sent toward the blue paint from distance by one of the Wildcats. That's Dylan Morris, the sophomore. A slow-moving puck battle in the near corner here is won by the Wildcats. They try to backdoor it. They can't. Follow-up try is whiffed on by Morris. And the Jaguars clear it back to center. And this is Landon Hintemeyer getting ridden into the glass. Puck comes out in front of the Latrobe net, where it's one-touched back to the center circle and gathered in by Lance Smith. Up ahead to Dwayne Sondheimer. Sondheimer caught the leg of Hutchko. Nate Hutchko of Latrobe. Fans wanted a penalty, and it appears they'll get one. Tripping the indication against the Latrobe Wildcats. Thomas Jefferson gets the game's first power play with 7:41 to go in the first period. No score. And it is Hutchko who will feel shame for 2 minutes and then get free. Clean face-off win by the Jags to start the man advantage. Smith from the right hash mark. In front, it's loose, and they score! Right off the draw, Scott Allen nuzzles that nylon. 7 seconds was all it took for the TJ power play, and it's 1-0 Jaguars. Ketty was unable to locate the rebound off the initial shot coming off the Thomas Jefferson faceoff win, and Allen made him pay for his 4th goal of the season. Now, in these tight games, special teams can make a world of difference. And so TJ lands the first blow in the special teams battle, but here come the Cats right back. Oh, with a yawning net. Everything was there, but the execution, Latrobe that close to tying the game vis-a-vis Peyton Myers. Myers just couldn't finish the one-timer at the left side of the exposed Thomas Jefferson goal. And now out in front, getting poke-checked is Manolakos. Oh, the Jaguars really dodging a bullet there right after taking the lead. As this is played out in front, Saymate, it's loose, and the rebound is somehow put wide by Manolakos, and I think Doherty got a piece of that. And now another penalty coming up, and this one's going to go against Thomas Jefferson. Ketty comes off. Extra attacker coming on as one of the Latrobe Wildcats was slow to get up. Interference, the indication from referee Featherstone, with 6:35 remaining in the period. Noah Gaidos was the aggrieved Wildcat. And so after conceding the power play goal, Latrobe has a chance to pull even with one of its own. Jacob Hanna on to take the draw and wins it for Latrobe. Center point, this shot is blocked. That was taken by Reed West. And the alternate captain of the Wildcats retreats and gave it away. Oh, a short-handed chance there, put off the side of the net. All in one motion. Dwayne Sondheimer that close to making it a 2-0 game. Rocco Marino giving chase and uses his body to jar that puck loose to his Wildcat teammates. From the right circle, this shot is blocked. Follow-up try is taken behind the net by Jacob Hanna. And the Jaguars intercept and clear it. 1:20 to go in the minor interference penalty to Lance Smith. 1-0 TJ on a power play goal by Scott Allen. Latrobe operating on its first man advantage of the night as this snapshot is saved by Doherty up into the protective netting from the stick of Fletcher Harvey. Peyton Myers on to take the face-off win, gets it to Harvey. Harvey to Beddick at the point. Now down low to Harvey for Myers. Myers out in front, backdoor play read perfectly by Spencer, who clears it for TJ. Under a minute to go in the Latrobe power play now. Under 5.5 to go in the first period. Jaguars trying to protect a 1-0 lead. Amatucci over the blue line. Amatucci, side of the net, shot pass. Again, Myers unable to ram it home. Amatucci in the corner for Myers. Back to Amatucci. Amatucci cross ice now for Harvey. Harvey snapshot, save made, rebound. Myers, score! The Latrobe captain made it happen, and he would not be denied after a couple of quality chances missed. And with 19 seconds on the penalty clock and 4:53 to go in the first period, it's a 1-1 game as Latrobe answers back on the man advantage. A team leading 13 points for Peyton Myers as he picks up his 5th of the campaign. Center point it comes now to Derek Schliebner. Schliebner right into the leather. Snatched out of the air with that glove hand of Ketty, and he holds on. Well, it seemed like the writing was on the wall for that Latrobe power play. The Wildcats with a really strong push and a good response after giving up that power play goal to Thomas Jefferson. They just couldn't finish until finally Peyton Myers did. And so we've got a new game here as Latrobe comes back with some room to maneuver, and a fluky little wrist shot there is denied by Doherty as a couple of players collide along the far boards, and TJ brings the puck back to center. Ryder McGurk in over the Latrobe line. McGurk on his backhand playing this puck to the far corner. Goes in after his own dump in and takes one of the Wildcats for a ride with him. That was Dumnick getting the worst of that one. McGurk for Best. Best had this one knocked off his stick by a Latrobe defender, that being Caleb Trice. And the Wildcats gain the red line and send it deep so they can change on the fly here. And a steal by one of the Wildcats and a snapshot right into the glove of Aiden Doherty. And a dejected Jake Hanna salutes Doherty, and so are we for that matter. A nifty glove stop to keep it a 1-1 game. Best chance of the game, really. Well, one of the best chances anyway for Latrobe. Just an ugly looking turnover, but the Jags catch a break as their goaltender bails them out. Latrobe fighting for this puck in the Thomas Jefferson zone. They keep it alive at center point. Here's Amatucci forcing a kick save off the left leg of Doherty. Amatucci winning this puck for Fletcher Harvey. Back to Reed West. West. Oh, that puck took a funny bounce. Some friendly fire there caught by Hanna as the Jaguars finally gain possession and send it up into Ice Cats ice. Under 3 to go in the period. 1-1 the score. Harvey from the high slot area. That was swallowed up neatly by Zach Strutt. Good gap control by the Thomas Jefferson senior. And with it now is Ryan Gallus, who drew a penalty against Latrobe. Wildcats touch up. TJ goes back to the PP with 2:36 to go. Jacob Hanna picks up the minor penalty as the Jaguars try to break a 1-1 tie here late in the first period. Both teams exchanging power play goals. Scott Allen for TJ, Peyton Myers for Latrobe. Oliver pulls up at the left hash. Up high for Jake Stock. For Oliver. Oliver between the circles. Oh, funny bounce there off of Latrobe's skate. Almost fooled Keddy, but it goes wide. Lance Smith, cross ice for Stock. Stock, shot pass, broken up. Good read there by Latrobe, and the Cats might have a chance shorthanded. Here the other way comes Myers. He's onside. Myers to the goal. Backhander denied by Doherty off the right shoulder of the Thomas Jefferson Jr. 1:05 to go in the Thomas Jefferson power play. But this time it's the Latrobe penalty kill that has had the upper hand. Good traffic jam there at the blue line to force the offside on the Jaguars. 52 to go in the 5-on-4 as Zeiler will change specialists here with 1:28 to go in the period. Face-off won by the Jaguars. Between the circles, it comes to McGurk. McGurk off-balance shot denied by Keddy, and the rebound is swept aside, but the Jaguars have it. This puck will come free eventually to Marino, who feigns on the initial clearing attempt, but the second time is the charm as the Jaguars go D to D, retreating with half a minute to go on the power play and 1 to go in the period. Best catches an edge. That could have been a penalty. It was not, and the Cats are content to clear it. Last rush possibly for the TJ power play, but they'll have to hurry. McGurk shoved from behind by Amatucci. And Best brings it over the blue line. Best, nifty little maneuver there as he's stood up nicely by Jason Markowski. And that'll do it for the TJ power play. Final half minute to play in the first period. And here's a transition chance here for the Wildcats. West, top of the left circle. Snapshot on goal. Save made. Rebound is at the feet of Doherty. And the Jaguars are able to get the first stick on it and clear it. 15 to go in the period. West with it for Latrobe. Now it comes up to Hannah, who lets it go for Fletcher Harvey. 8 seconds left. Cats have to hurry here, but Harvey falls down. And that'll do it for period one. The teams trade barbs on special teams, and so we have a 1-1 game between the Latrobe Wildcats and Thomas Jefferson Jaguars. After one period from the Ice Castle and Castle Shannon, you're watching PIHL Hockey Night Live on 10-Band TV, brought to you by Hydro Blocks. We are back here at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon, where the Latrobe Wildcats and Thomas Jefferson Jaguars are tied 1-1. Scott Allen on the power play for the Jaguars, followed by Peyton Myers on the power play for the Wildcats. TJ now 1 for 2 on the power play as Latrobe gets a kill at the end of the period. And we are back to action here as Featherstone put up his arm for a moment, but Thomas Jefferson gets in first to play this puck and negate the icing call. Wildcats play it back to center as one of them lost an edge at center ice. That was Noah Gaidos as this puck is sent deep and off the back of the Latrobe net. Comes out in front. Oliver looking for it for Thomas Jefferson. Oliver ridden into the boards by J.D. Robinson, the senior. To the corner comes. Penalty coming up against Latrobe. And let's see what the call is here. The trailing official made the call, and that was Featherstone. And he sends off Jason Markowski. Roughing is the indication. Actually, it's going to be coincidental minors as Jake Stock goes off for Thomas Jefferson. So we will remain 5-on-5. Both players getting into a bit of fisticuffs in the general vicinity of Connor Ketty. And so we remain at even strength here in the early moments of period two. Chance for the Wildcats. Cross-ice pass just under the stick of Harvey. And he's ridden hard into the boards by McCann. Harvey trying to keep it into the blue line. He can't. Latrobe goes D to D. Trice up ahead a little too far for West. Jaguars send it back into Latrobe ice. Hannah trying to get around the referee and get around McCann at the same time. He does, but he's immediately double-teamed. Breaks free, though. Shot from the top of the right circle was gloved and held by Doherty. Jack Beddick on for a good little sequence there as the Wildcats change lines. Face-off coming up to the left of Doherty. Clean face-off win by the Cats. And this shot is put just wide off the rebound. Dylan Morris just couldn't settle it down, and if he had been able to, we'd be looking at a 2-1 game. Around the boards it comes for Nate Hutchko. Hutchko is sandwiched by a couple of Jaguars on the forecheck. TJ has to tag up here to get onside, and they will. That allows Latrobe to play it back to center, but that's as far as the Cats are going to get before gaining the red line and dumping it deep is Rocco Marino. Cats are changing on the fly. 2 minutes into period 2 in a 1-1 game. Spencer into the near corner. Around the boards it comes once more. McGurk pries that puck loose. Good play there for Allen, the lone TJ goal scorer. Allen, near corner out in front, intended for Nick Best, who was trying to tap it in between the legs of Keddy, but the pass couldn't connect. Wildcats send it behind the TJ goal, but the Jaguars immediately come with it through center. Here's Best on the off wing, lost it at the last moment as he is shoved down to the ice by Jack Beddick. Draw pass for Peyton Myers. Myers put it off the skate of Derek Schliebner, and the Jaguars are trying to make a line change here. And Josh Warner looking around to see if that was or was not too many men against TJ. I think TJ was good in that instance, but it was close. Jaguars at their own blue line, up ahead for Gallus. Gallus dumps it in behind the Latrobe goal, where the Cats gather it in and send it up to Manolakos. Gallus takes it over in the neutral zone, left side for Smith. Smith ridden into the scorer's table as Keddy plays it behind his own net. Manolakos lets it go to Harvey. Harvey at his own blue line is harassed by Ashton Collar as the puck goes deep into TJ territory. Wildcats operating at the right point. This shot pass misses everybody. Played on the backhand as both teams fight for it. And that was Cam Mikulski, the freshman, coming on here for Josh Warner's team, doing some digging. Wildcats keep this puck deep. Mikulski losing his footing, but getting right back up. Good keep at the right point there. And a snapshot takes a funny bounce. It almost took a friendly bounce for Latrobe. But Doherty is able to anticipate and make the save. Thomas Jefferson and Latrobe changing behind the play as the play migrates towards center. Andrew Oliver over the Latrobe blue line, trying to get around a man there. That was Hanna. He could not. Jaguars trying to get their forecheck going here with 12:15 to go. Make that 12:18 to go as the clock is stopped for a puck out of play. That's how much time we have until the ice cut here at the Ice Castle Arena, and it's enough time for me to remind you that Hydro Blocks is tonight's PIHL Hockey Night Live doubleheader sponsor. It moves the unwanted water on your property from where you don't want it to go to where you do. And you can buy Hydro Blocks at your local EV True Value hardware store. Oliver to the goal. That shot blocked from right between the circles. The Wildcats are gapping it up in front of their goaltender as they come back on the counterattack. Nate Hutchko pays the physical price as he dumps this puck into the corner. Jaguars trying to clear. They can't. Now they'll get it back to center, but it's intercepted by Latrobe. Markowski onside from the left circle. Shoots, save made, and Doherty didn't know where that rebound was. It floated over his mask and behind the net. Hard slap shot from above the right circle was denied by Doherty. Oliver over the line. Chance here for the Jaguars as his snapshot is sticked aside by Keddy. McCann into the corner for Jake Stock. The coincidental minors long since over as Jake Stock Sends it back to the left point for McCann. That went through a crowd, and that hit one of the Wildcats. That was Jason Markowski absorbing that blow. As Dylan Morris has it for Latrobe. Penalty coming up against Thomas Jefferson as Morris cranks one wide of the net. Wildcats will not be able to get the extra attacker all the way on here as play is whistled dead. And so now Latrobe will get its second power play of the night. Connor McCann going off here for hooking with 10:43 to go to the ice cut. Myers, the lone Latrobe goal scorer, on to take the face-off, which the Wildcats are fighting for, but Thomas Jefferson wins. And muscling his way through, shorthanded, is Dwayne Sonheimer. Sonheimer to the goal. Sonheimer denied by Doherty. And a hard hit there by Sonheimer at the other end as he's having a nice 200-foot shift on Peyton Myers. Jags with maybe another chance shorthanded here. Here comes for Thomas Jefferson, Scott Allen, but he is dispossessed behind the Latrobe goal. A shaky start to this power play for the Wildcats with 10 to go in the second and 1:15 to go on the minor penalty to Connor McCann. Finally, the Wildcats get some offensive zone penetration, but for how long? As one of them is slow to get up to his feet, that is Nick Menalakos on the far boards, but from a bad angle, he puts it on goal and forces Aiden Doherty to freeze it in the crease. 1:02 to go in the power play as John Zeiler wants to change penalty killers here. Hanna against McGurk. Hanna wins it cleanly for Latrobe. Cross ice pass, went by everybody. Jaguars intercept and clear it beyond the glove of Markowski. Markowski up ahead to Marino. Marino is sandwiched hard by Spencer with 40 to go in the power play for Latrobe. Good stick work there by Hanna to slow that puck down and keep it alive for the Wildcats in the attacking zone here. At the side of the net, it's loose. They made rebound, score! (2-1) Wildcats. Jacob Hanna somehow smushed that rebound under the stomach of Aiden Doherty and into the net, and it is 2-1 to the visitors. A second power play goal for Latrobe. For Hanna, that's his fourth of the varsity season. And the Wildcats have their first lead here on the road. So what kind of answer do the Jaguars have? Let's see. Latrobe coming back 2-on-2, but West lost that puck, and Thomas Jefferson goes in after this one as it's kept alive with a clean high stick by Dwayne Sonheimer. But Latrobe taps it back to center before it's tapped into the Latrobe bench. One of the Jaguars, that's Drew Schliebner, going down at the end of the play as play stops with 8:43 to go in the second. Almost at the halfway point of this contest. One of two we'll have for you tonight on PIHL Hockey Night Live on 10-Band TV. Waiting in the wings are the undefeated Bishop Canavan Crusaders and the team with whom they share this building, the Carrick Cougars. Dump in by the Wildcats. At the near side of the net, the Jaguars play it up through center, and this should be long enough for icing. It is. Both teams making some changes here with 8:21 to go in the second. Face-off coming up to the right of Aiden Doherty. And Oliver, the alternate captain, wins it for TJ. To Liam Mahoney. Given away to the Wildcats. Backhander wide of the net. McCann plays it behind his own goal. Glove down by one of the Wildcats who try to get their forecheck going, and I believe that was a hand pass. Yes, it was. And so this faceoff should come outside the TJ zone. And that faceoff is won by the Wildcats. They tuck it back inside the TJ blue line where it's controlled by the visitors for the moment. Hannah from the top of the circle. That shot blocked by Oliver. Oliver comes back with two teammates in over the Latrobe blue line. Oliver hits the brakes, puts it on net. Glove save made, and the rebound held by Ketty. Peyton Myers, the Latrobe captain, wins this draw, and it's put up off the glass but not out. Kept alive at the left point by McCann. Behind the net it comes to McGurk. McGurk for Smith. Back to McGurk at the right hash mark. Good defensive work there down low by Caleb Trice, the junior. Trice in a stiff puck battle here that the Wildcats win, and they are able to send it just over their own blue line and back to center. Lead pass underneath the stick of Peyton Myers as the Jaguars play it out of his reach with 7 to go in the period, trailing 2-1. Lance Smith, far corner behind the net for Allen. McGurk in for support. Lance Smith lost possession. Menelakos in after this puck for Latrobe. Good keep there by Lance Smith, but couldn't do much with it. And he's unable to win that puck off the pinch as Menelakos comes back the other way for Latrobe. Cross-ice pass. A little too strong, but picked up in flight by the man just on for Latrobe. That's number 24, Rocco Marino. And a backdoor play out in front, misfired. That comes to Markowski. Markowski, score! Laser surgery from the left point makes it a 3-1 game. 6:16 to play to the ice cut. And it is Jason Markowski, the senior defenseman, hitting the target for the second time this season. This might have been deflected in, but it was definitely Markowski's shot that begat the Latrobe goal, and the Wildcats have a 2-goal cushion now with time ticking away in the second. There was definitely some traffic in front of Doherty. Hard to see if that was a factor or not. And as I pick up the faint public address, emphasis on faint, I believe for now they are giving it to Markowski. So that'll be our story, and we're sticking to it. Up into the rafters this puck goes, and it'll be a face-off coming up in Latrobe territory. And they'll drop it to the right of Connor Ketty. Hannah to take it against Gallus. And Hannah prevails this time, but it was given away to Gallus, who lost an edge immediately. A tough break there for Thomas Jefferson. Trying to climb a 2-goal hill now against the Ice Cats. And Latrobe is on the attack again from the left circle. This puck is sailed wide by Harvey. Jaguars trying to clean this thing up from behind their own net, but it's sent right back in behind the goal line by the Latrobe Wildcats. Turnaround shot there, caught the leg of Spencer, it looks like. And a save made there from a terrible angle by Doherty. You got to be careful on those bad angle shots. Sometimes those are the ones that can really burn you. Kyle Seiler gets this puck deep before he comes off. Wholesale changes for the Jaguars. Late in the second period, 3-1 Latrobe the score. Harvey over the line as he is poke checked immediately. And counterattacking for the Jaguars is Nathan Weiss. Weiss to the right wing circle, puts it wide of the far post. Kept in at the left point before it's sent back to center. West on his backhand gets it deep. And now Josh Warner wants to change things on the fly here. Hintemeyer coming back with all kinds of speed, tries to center this puck for Sondheimer, but Sondheimer was too well tied up in front of the Latrobe net. And here come the Wildcats 2-on-2. Beddick behind the net. Out in front, play broken up. Oh, but nearly a giveaway there to Beddick. Taken out by Myers. Myers dropping it, shot, score! It's all Greek to me. Nick Manolakos makes it a 4-1 game for the Ice Cats. 3:46 to go to the ice cut. A turnover deep in TJ territory. A cheeky little drop pass by Peyton Myers, who is showing why he's this team's leading point getter. And a bullet of a snapshot by Nick Manolakos for his third goal of the season. 4 unanswered by Latrobe after falling behind in the first period. Out in front it comes. Turnaround try. Saved off the goal line! I held my breath to see if that shot by Jake Stock would completely cross the goal line. Alas, for the sake of the Jaguars, it did not. TJ inches away from getting one back. At the side of the net, it goes in! Liam Mahoney was there. Andrew Oliver is the one who I believe finally found an answer for Connor Ketty. The Jaguars just weren't going to be stopped on that shift. And so they do answer, and they make it a 4-2 game with 3:08 to go in the second. And again, we're trying to pick up the official goal announcements on public address, which we are unable to, so we apologize for that. But at any rate, a couple of goals by each team in rapid succession here with time ticking away in the second period. And Fletcher Harvey has it for the Wildcats, trying to center it for a teammate, but it was broken up. And here's TJ on the counterattack. Liam Mahoney, who was on the ice for that goal a moment ago for the Jaguars, tried to tee it up for Jake Stock, but Stock was too well covered. Now Harvey goes down hard in front of the TJ bench as the Jaguars send this puck deep into Latrobe territory. Dumnick plays it off the boards, not quite out. McCann sends it deep for Stock. Stock ducks around a check. Deliberates and loses this puck back to center. Lance Smith with it, and he lost an edge, and this is a break for Latrobe. Coming the other way is West. Reed West, poke checked at the last moment by Scott Allen. A nice recovery defensively by TJ there as Doherty makes a save from a tight angle. Action really picking up at the end of this second period. 4-2 Latrobe, the score. But Thomas Jefferson showing some life with a goal moments ago by Andrew Oliver, his third of the season, set up by Liam Mahoney. Oliver, as I said, played a pivotal role in the TJ victory the last time these two teams met in PIHL regular season play, and trying to do more of the same here at home tonight. Touched behind the net by Ketty. And Nick Menelakos, the most recent Latrobe scorer, gets us up ahead to Peyton Myers. Myers dances around the double team and goes in after the dump in, but getting there first is Brian Spencer of Thomas Jefferson. Myers uses his superior physics to protect that puck and tries a little spinorama centering pass that would not connect, but Menelakos intercepts for Latrobe. This puck dies in the right wing circle of Latrobe ice. Amatucci playing it, and he's ridden hard into the glass. Latrobe with a 3-on-2 here. Slap shot, save made by Doherty. The rebound cleaned up immediately by the Jaguars in the final 35 seconds of second period play. And a chance the other way for Mahoney. Mahoney to the goal. Score! Liam Mahoney and the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars are ready to rumble with still a whole period to play here at the Ice Castle. 32 seconds to go, and it's a one-goal game just like that. Mahoney, his second of the night. Second point of the night, excuse me. And we've got a brand new hockey game. This puck played deep into TJ territory with 15 seconds to go in the period. Jaguars just trying not to see that the work they've done is undone as they send this puck back to center. 8 seconds left. Maybe one last chance here for the Jags, but this pass would not connect to Oliver. Oliver centers in front, and Ketty actually got a piece of that puck as the period expires. 4 unanswered goals in this game by the Latrobe Wildcats. A couple of late counter punches by the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars to get right back in it, and we've got a barn burner here at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon, Pennsylvania. After 2 periods, it is Latrobe 4, Thomas Jefferson 3. I'm Matt Popchak, and you're watching it on PIHL Hockey Night Live on 10 Band TV, brought to you by Hydroblocks.
Look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. We utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more. Ah, look at him, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, climbing his way through the corporate rat race. We've all been there, focused on that next raise, promotion, chocolate bar. Keeping an eye on your health can be exhausting. Weight Loss Direct is a personalized wellness and weight loss program. You utilize an AI algorithm to determine your specific foods and match you with a real-life coach and an easy-to-follow meal plan so you could stay on track to success and health. Check out weightlossdirect.com to learn more.
Back here at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon, getting ready for third period action in just a short while here. Matt Popchak on board with you, accompanied as always by producer Todd Kazarowski, camera operator Michael Iman. Game 1 of 2 in tonight's doubleheader has the Latrobe Wildcats leading the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars by a score of 4-3, and ironically, the storyline, at least at the beginning of this game, was power plays. Both of these teams have struggled coming into tonight on the power play. Latrobe came in just 14.3%, which was tied for second to last in Class AA. Thomas Jefferson came in at just 10.5%, which was last in Class AA. But it was the Jaguars who got on the board first with a power play goal from Scott Allen before Latrobe got the first of its 4 unanswered goals on a power play of their own by Peyton Myers. The Wildcats breaking it open with 3 second period goals. They came in tonight, did the Wildcats, with 13 second period goals. That was the third most, tied for the third most of any team in PIHL Class AA. And so it was a 4-1 game, but a couple of late tallies, including a breakaway goal by Liam Mahoney in the final minute of second period play, have brought the Jaguars back within range. And they are indeed back in the jungle and looking for a big win on home ice. This would be a big confidence booster for the defending Penguins Cup champions, who are going through some growing pains, trying to build back up to a championship caliber team after losing a lot of championship caliber players after last spring's Penguins Cup run. And we want to remind you that PIHL Hockey Night Live is sponsored by our good friends at Hydro Blocks. Hydro-Blocks moves water from where you do not want it to where you do. And you can pick up Hydro-Blocks at your local EV True Value hardware store. Visit hydroblocks.com, HYDROBLOX.com to learn more. And my producer, Todd Kazarowski, showed me earlier this week about what Hydro-Blocks is and what it does. And you want to get rid of that bad property water, flooding, property damage, etc. Boy, I tell you, could have used that 20-some years ago. We used to have some pretty bad water problems back at the old childhood home, and a great product like Hydro-Blocks will help you take care of that. So we're just about set for third period play here at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon. Coming up next, after this one, we have Bishop Canavan and Carrick. Both teams play their home games here at the Ice Castle, but Carrick, for our purposes, will be the designated home team in that one. Now the Jags need a big push in the third here to get back in it. They only have 4 third-period goals all season, so now would be as good a time as any for John Zeiler's team to buck history as they try to get back to 500 on home ice here tonight. Thomas Jefferson controls the opening third-period face-off, and they come in over the Latrobe line on the freshly cut ice, and it goes down low for Liam Mahoney, who has a goal and an assist tonight for McCann. McCann through a crowd, never made it through. That was eaten up by one of the Latrobe defense. I think Peyton Myers, the man shooting this puck off the blocker of Aiden Doherty, might have gotten a piece of that. And that is not Aiden Doherty. I beg your pardon, between the pipes for Thomas Jefferson. That is number 33. Replacing Doherty in goal for the Jaguars. And we will positively identify him in just a moment as Latrobe tags up, allowing Thomas Jefferson to play this puck through center and into Latrobe ice. In the near corner, it goes underneath an injured Jaguar. That's Scott Allen, who is getting up slowly on his own volition. One of the Wildcats checked hard on the boards as Fletcher Harvey comes back on the right wing and snaps that shot up into the protective netting and out of play. Early moments of this third period in a one-goal game. And this face-off coming just outside the Thomas Jefferson blue line. Weiss controlling this puck briefly for TJ before he's gotten his stick lifted, and ultimately the puck is sent deep into Latrobe territory. It goes off of Thomas Jefferson's stick, but not all the way out. Snapshot from the right point is blocked. Rocco Marino got in the way of that one as TJ retreats to play this puck behind its own net. Jags getting a little too cute perhaps in their own end as this one goes out of play over the far boards. Face-off coming up in the Thomas Jefferson zone as both teams make early line changes. Ronnie Porpuski, the sophomore, is your new Thomas Jefferson goaltender. Porpuski seeing his first varsity minutes of the 22-23 season here tonight. Porpuski replacing Aiden Doherty in goal after Doherty played 2 full periods. And Doherty would be on the hook for the loss if this score holds up. But still a long way to determine that. 15 minutes to go in the third period. Latrobe 4, Thomas Jefferson 3. Caller to Smith behind his own net. Tries to outlet it for Gallus. That pass does connect. Gallus tries to poke it over the Latrobe blue line as it comes cross ice to Kyle Seiler. Behind the Latrobe goal it goes for McCann. McCann at the left point. Off the skate of Beddick. Played in the near corner. and up through center. This will be icing against Latrobe, as they're going to say the Wildcats last touched that 190-foot dump in. And so the faceoff comes to the right of Connor Ketty. Clean faceoff win by the Ice Cats defensively here as Harvey comes through center, 1-on-2, make that 1-on-3. Harvey on his backhand behind the net out in front. It's loose in front. Porpuski trying to cover it, he can't, as it's cleared off the line and away from the side of the net by Zach Strutt. A good net front presence there defensively by the TJ senior as the Jaguars try to get a counter going here, but they can't as they're stood up at the Latrobe blue line, and one of their players is whacked, and a penalty coming up here on Reed West as he slashed Jake Stock right in front of one of the officials. Not a good penalty to take there by the young man. And so 3 minutes into the third period, Thomas Jefferson has a chance to pull even on the power play, where they are 1 for 2. Scott Allen to take the offensive zone draw for TJ, which wins the offensive zone draw to Andrew Oliver. Oliver through a crowd. That went wide of the net. Thomas Jefferson with its third power play of the game, seeking an all-important fourth goal here as they try to erase what was once a 4-1 Latrobe lead. Wildcats get a clear there with 1:35 to go on the minor slashing penalty on Reed West, the senior forward. Oliver over the line behind the Latrobe net with great speed here coming into the Latrobe attacking zone. Wildcats try to clear it. They can't. Side of the net, now out in front. That centering pass would not connect, and a good clear there by Peyton Myers. The Latrobe captain and the penalty killing role comes off, and Josh Warner puts some fresh troops on here with 1:07 to go in the TJ power play. Good poke check there by Bedek. And that allows Gaidos, Noah Gaidos that is, the senior, to get this puck deep. More time off the penalty clock. This would be a huge kill for Latrobe if they can get it here. Weiss ridden into the boards and off the puck, but he's still fighting for it. And he gets it near side to Scott, or to Jake Stock, excuse me, to the point for Oliver. It's loose in front, but Ketty has it. 33 to go on the power play for Thomas Jefferson. 12:36 to go in regulation, still a one-goal game. McGurk couldn't control the face-off, and now it is put errantly by Myers into his own bench, so we'll do it again from the same spot. McGurk ties up his man, and this time the Jaguars try to go forward off the draw. Turnaround try, put over top of the net. Oh, a great chance there for Sondheimer. Wildcats get a clear, and this might do it. 15 seconds to go on the power play. TJ needs a quick rush here. And coming up with quickness is Nick Best. Best to the goal, blocked by the sliding frame of Jason Markowski, and we get another whistle and a stoppage in play here as the net has been dislodged behind Connor Ketty. 1 second left on the penalty clock, but for all intents and purposes, it's a PK for the Ice Cats. A successful PK at that. Myers is going to take this face off against McGurk, and Myers wins it. And this will be flipped into the stands and dribbling beyond the Thomas Jefferson makeshift student section as we're back to 5-on-5. And so we'll face it off again to the right of Latrobe senior Connor Ketty. And a kick save made there off the draw on the effort from Landon Hintemeyer. Snapshot from the point is deflected over top the net and wide. Hintemeyer in the far corner to the point. Through a crowd, turnaround try, blocked at the last moment. Who got a piece of that for Latrobe? That was 88, Jack Beddick, who I think kept that puck from going in with the knob of his stick. Puck out in front. Hanna from point blank is denied by Porpuski. His biggest save of the night. The backup Tendy keeping TJ in it for the moment as this shot is sticked aside and on a play by Connor Ketty. So business picking up at both ends here with 11:16 to go in the third. Caller to take this face-off against Marino. And Marino won it for Latrobe. This puck a little too strong for its intended target, Dylan Morris, and it's going to be icing on the Cats. Caller pushes this puck to the near corner. Another defensive zone face-off win for Latrobe. And those become more and more critical as this third period wears on. Dumped in by the Cats. Hutchko with it, near corner. 50-50 battle won by the Jaguars. Dumnick dumps it in. The Cats are onside. Dylan Morris playing it on his backhand to the corner. Centering pass denied by Porpuski, and the rebound is pushed just wide by Marino. From neutral ice, Marino bodies his man off the puck. That is Derek Schliebner as the Wildcats gather it in behind their own net and send it around the boards. Nick Manilakos, who had one of those second period goals for the Wildcats, gets this puck deep before Thomas Jefferson sends it back to neutral territory. Peyton Myers with a steal. Myers from deep in the TJ zone on his backhand. Cross-ice pass, centers it. Oh, a nice one-timer there by Noah Gaidos, but a better save by Ronald Porpuski. Jaguars unable to clear. Here's Myers. Cross-ice, oh, trying to hook up with Manilakos, but Manilakos couldn't handle the pass. We've seen Latrobe try that backdoor play or side of the net play, if you will, on more than one occasion, and they've been so close to burying it, but haven't been able to. Now here's Myers leading the forecheck again for Latrobe. Tied up along the boards, though, as he draws a double team, and TJ comes back with a possible 3-on-2. That quickly turns into a 3-on-3 as this shot is blasted wide from a good 60 feet. That puck kicked out of there by Ketty as the Cats tap it back to center red. Off balance try there by Mahoney, looking for his second goal of the night, and that is swallowed by Ketty as we approach the midpoint of this third period. Latrobe trying to hold a 4-3 lead over Thomas Jefferson here on the road. Two very storied Class AA programs, one of them looking to stay above 500, one of them looking to get back there. Oh, there's a sneaky shot attempt by Harvey that was blocked. Scott Allen playing this on his backhand up to center. Ryder McGurk going in after it. McGurk plays it behind the Latrobe net. McGurk tries to center it for Lance Smith, but Smith is outside the zone, and TJ has to tag up here. They gain the red line and send this puck in, and it takes a convenient bounce right out to Connor Ketty, who will play it conservatively. Werner making another line change here as we are past the third period's midpoint. TJ wins the face-off, but can't get a clean shot off. Ketty going from post to post, not wanting to give up anything cheap here late in the game as Latrobe comes up to center. Hutchko to the corner, supported by Marino, and this puck squirts free to the Jaguars, who send it up to neutral territory. Bedek gets it deep for Latrobe. Jaguars defensively lose this puck to Dylan Morris of Latrobe. But a good job of cleaning up that little mess by Captain Lance Smith, and up ahead to Best. Best on goal. That backhander just went wide of the blue paint. Nick Best and Caleb Trice, some 8-on-8 crime there in the far corner. As this puck comes to the far boards, here's Connor McCann with it for TJ on his backhand. Tries to wrap around. That one closed off, though, by Ketty. Snapshot into the glove of Connor Ketty from Nathan Weiss. 7 minutes to go. Still a 4-3 game. Cats win the draw, but they turn it over. Snapshot, blocker save made by Ketty, and out of play. Almost a very costly turnover off that face-off win by the Wildcats. To the boards it comes. Center point for Nathan Weiss. Weiss on his backhand behind the net. Lost it. Now regains possession. Good keep here by Nathan Weiss, but a better poke check by Myers, who pursues this puck aggressively deep into TJ territory. One of the Jaguars goes down and is a little bit slow to get up off the boards. And that is Spencer, the defenseman, as another of the Jaguars goes down and has a second stick with him. Jaguars playing this puck in neutral ice as things get a little sloppy here in the third period. TJ is offside. Well, if I know the sport as well as I think I do, this is the stage of the game where power plays and penalty kills become less of a factor. And unless it's patently obvious, you're not likely to see a ton of calls the rest of the way on either side. Thomas Jefferson fans certainly wanted one a moment ago for that kerfuffle in the neutral zone, as this puck is sent deep and long enough for icing, as Featherstone puts his arm up. The call is made, and the puck will be dropped in Greater Latrobe territory. Under 6 minutes to play in this third period. It's been quite a start to our PIHL Hockey Night Live doubleheader, sponsored by Hydro Blocks. And we've got one more game to go. Bishop Canevin versus Carrick coming up next. Jaguars off the faceoff in the Latrobe zone. Send it up to the half boards, but it's sent back to center by Harvey, and a chance for Reed West coming in over the TJ blue line. West hits the brakes, leaves it for Hannah. Hannah couldn't hold on. Hannah had one of those second period goals for Latrobe, by the way. And here's a snapshot from a tight angle. Just missing there was Liam Mahoney. Fletcher Harvey's shot is deflected off a Thomas Jefferson stick and off the glass behind Ronald Porpuski. Andrew Oliver near side on his off wing, backhand to the goal, save made, rebound, there isn't any. Puck is frozen by the Latrobe netminder with 5:10 to go. And off the face-off, that shot blocked, and it bounces back up to the Latrobe blue line. Jaguars gather it in defensively, survey the play, and they try to set it up ahead for Best, who was trying to cheat up ahead of the play there, but that pass never made it close. And the Wildcats are content to just get this puck deep and keep the pressure on Thomas Jefferson, with the Jaguars trailing by a goal here on home ice late in the third. Cats come back to center, and gaining the red line and dumping it in is Dylan Morris. Schliebner up ahead for McGurk. McGurk has space. McGurk to the goal, makes his move. Score! Smooth as silk, Ryder McGurk makes it a 4-4 game with 4:23 to play. We told you having him back in the lineup might be huge for Thomas Jefferson. 4 points in the 2 games that Thomas Jefferson had won prior, and he has a game-tying goal here late in the third period on a partial breakaway as he cleanly beats Connor Ketty. And we're right back to square one, or square 4, as it were. And a stoppage here with 4:13 to go. And a hooking call coming up here. Latrobe is going to come out of this with a power play. Wow. Liam Mahoney going off here late in the third period. So the Wildcats, who have seen their 3-goal lead evaporate, have a chance to get the lead back here late in regulation. Each team with a power play goal in the first period, but nothing doing since. Myers lets this one go under a stick where it's sent deep by Connor McCann. Jake Stock in pursuit shorthanded, but the Wildcats are going to go D to D and play this out of their own corner with 1:30 to go on the minor penalty to Mahoney. 3:40 to go in regulation, 4-4 the score. Ryder McGurk, his 4th goal of the season, tying the game for Thomas Jefferson. And the Jaguars have a chance shorthanded. Here's Oliver. Oliver puts it wide of the net and up into the netting. The Wildcats going through some woes of their own on special teams, conceding a couple of mildly dangerous chances shorthanded. Thomas Jefferson with the momentum now. 3 in a row by the Jaguars. As this puck off the faceoff is flipped up in the air off the save by Ketty, and it goes over the net. That was nearly a repeat of a recent Penguin playoff game that I daren't mention. Thomas Jefferson shorthanded will be content to leave this puck go and take time off the penalty clock. 45 to go in the 5-on-4 as Myers comes over the line. Myers left side, snapshot, blocked, and off the protective netting it goes. So we'll get a stoppage here with 39 to go on the Latrobe power play. 2:52 to go in the period. Jacob Hanna to take it against Andrew Oliver. Oliver wins it defensively for TJ, but the Jaguars are unable to clear the zone. Latrobe wins this puck battle, and they get it up to Beddick. Beddick sails it wide. Amatucci with it, left point. 23 to go in the power play. Wildcats need to get this puck on goal, but they won't be able to as this one is cleared by Spencer. Good yeoman's work there on the penalty kill, and looks like the Jaguars are going to survive this one. Long outlet pass, broken up, read easily by Lance Smith, and we're back to 5 aside. And not much action in the offensive end for Latrobe on that power play. So we remain 4-4 with under 2 to go in the third period. Oliver through center, over the blue line, lost it. Now pulls back to retrieve this puck, which is deflected wide of goal. Drop pass, intercepted by Dylan Morris. Morris on one hand plays it up ahead of Myers. Nifty little move there by Myers, who draws the penalty. And another penalty coming up here toward the end of regulation against Thomas Jefferson. Myers reaching for this puck as the extra attacker comes on for Latrobe on a delayed penalty situation. Amatucci lets it go for Guidos. Snapshot toward goal, deflected just wide. Amatucci with it at the right point. For Guidos. Guidos drops it back to Markowski, and finally it's intercepted by Smith. And so, barring unforeseen developments, Latrobe will spend the rest of regulation potentially on the power play. 1:16 to play in this third period. Tripping the indication against guess who? Liam Mahoney. He goes off for a second time in this third period, late in the period. And Josh Werner is going to use his timeout. 4-4 the score. Latrobe broke it open in the second period, led 4-1. Thomas Jefferson with 3 unanswered, including a breakaway goal in this third period by Ryder McGurk. Each team with a power play goal in the first period to open the contest. And both these teams have gone through, their share of struggles this season, but we talk about the history of these programs. These are two programs that know how to win, and they've played in more than a few games like this. So not surprising at all to see this game end up where it is at the moment. Peyton Myers takes the face-off and ties up his man long enough for Fletcher Harvey to get that snapshot away from the left circle, but it's blocked by Allen and out of play. This time TJ wins the face-off. Can they get it clear? Not quite. That one goes off the referee's skate, off a Latrobe glove, and back to center. Amatucci surveys the play. Now goes left side to Harvey. Harvey tries to fake around a man to the goal. Stick save made by Porpusky, who holds on. 51 seconds remaining in the third period. We're tied at 4. And the Jaguars win this faceoff. And coming back shorthanded, Dwayne Sondheimer. Sondheimer to the goal, lost it. Connor McCann retreating in a penalty-killing role here for TJ. He sends this puck deep with 30 seconds to go in regulation. Here come the Cats, up to center. Myers on his backhand for Amatucci. Amatucci from the right corner. 15 seconds to go for Manolakos. Three overtime for 3 minutes here at the Ice Castle in Castle Shannon. But by virtue of the Liam Mahoney minor penalty, it will be 4-on-3 to begin the OT for 44 more seconds. We've got 4s across the board. It's 4-4 between the Latrobe Wildcats and the host Thomas Jefferson Jaguars as the Hydro Blocks overtime period is about to begin. What an ending to this one. Latrobe looking for atonement after surrendering a 3-goal lead in regulation. Thomas Jefferson looking to complete what could be, in the scheme of things, a season-altering comeback, with the Jaguars struggling early in this regular season. Manilakos, Harvey, Amatucci, and Myers on for Latrobe to begin the OT. Smith and Oliver and Spencer on for the Jaguars. And the Jaguars win the faceoff to begin the overtime. Here's Oliver. Oliver on his backhand to the goal, puts it wide as he was ridden off that puck by Nick Manilakos. Here comes Latrobe, still working on that carryover power play for half a minute more. Snapshot was deflected wide, never made it through. From the top of the circle, pulling up and looking for space is Amatucci. Amatucci, high slot area. From the left circle, shot, save made. Porpuski calmly sliding to his right to read that one. And you hear the stick taps on the TJ bench. 14 to go in the 4-on-3. Face-off won by the Cats. Harvey, right side for Amatucci. Up to Harvey. Harvey, left circle. Out in front, put just wide by Myers. We're back to 4 aside until the next whistle as Myers goes cross ice for Amatucci. Amatucci down low for Harvey. Shot, save made. Oh, Manilakos didn't know where the rebound was. Myers behind the TJ net. On his backhand, out in front it goes, and pinned against the side of the net by Porpuski, the backup goaltender. 1:54 to go in the sudden victory OT. And now we will play some 3-on-3 hockey. Another face-off won by Latrobe. Reed West with it, left side. Behind the net for Hanna. Hanna through the corner, up top for Beddick. Beddick tried to fake out his man there. Good job there, controlling his gap by McGurk, who tied this game late in the third. And now the Cats have to pull back and tag up as that pass was a little too strong for Beddick. 1:30 to go, halfway through the overtime. Hanna for West. West tries to center it for Hanna. He's too well covered. Thomas Jefferson playing this puck deliberately from its own end as it comes over to Scott Allen. Allen through center. Allen over the Latrobe line. Allen to his forehand. Allen from a bad angle. Oh, off the stomach of Ketty. That puck was dangerously close to dribbling in. Reddick lead pass for Myers. Myers couldn't dance around McGurk. Here comes Allen the other way. Allen 1-on-2. Allen from the left circle. Puts it wide. And we get a whistle here, and what's this? The net is dislodged behind Ketty. That's the issue. .47 seconds to go in the sudden victory OT. If there is no victor, we go to a 3-round NHL-style shootout. Jake Stock, left point. For Oliver. Oliver from the high slot area puts a shot toward Markowski that's blocked by the defenseman. Stock with it. Stock between the circles. Stock shoots, save made, rebound whiffed on. Jaguars unable to settle that puck down to the side of the net with 20 seconds left. Spencer through a crowd. It's loose and saved and held by Ketty. Well, Jake Stock, aside from having my tongue tied like a Windsor knot, almost had himself the game-winning goal there for Thomas Jefferson. .15 seconds left in the OT. The Jaguars keep it in. And here's Stock shooting. Oh, it goes just wide. Kenny got a piece. Oliver behind the net. 7 seconds left. Jaguars need to hurry, but they're not going to get a shot off. And we will go to the Hydro Blocks shootout. You want drama? How do you like this for drama? Thomas Jefferson roaring back to tie this game. And it's backup goaltender Ronald Porpuski pressed into a shootout situation here. And what a win this would be potentially for Thomas Jefferson. The first Latrobe shooter will be Fletcher Harvey. Harvey really taking his time on the build-up here. Harvey brings it slowly over the blue line to the goal. Score!
Goalie's Porupski.
After the top of the first shootout round, 1-0 to the Wildcats. Ryder McGurk, who tied this game, shoots first for Thomas Jefferson. He approaches Ketty. He makes his move. He scores! 1-1 through one round. And now Porupski will face the Latrobe captain, Peyton Myers. Top of the second round as Myers crosses the blue line. Myers from the right side to the goal. Score! Latrobe as we hit the bottom of the second round. Andrew Oliver shooting second for the Jaguars. Oliver approaches the puck. Comes in over the Latrobe line to the goal. Score! 2-2 after two shootout rounds in full. Bedek will shoot third against Porupski. Senior defenseman Jack Bedek over the TJ blue line to the goal. Stopped! Porupski got a piece, and so did the far post, and now Jake Stock can win it for the Jaguars. He's scored in 3 straight games in regulation. Can he score in the shootout? Jake Stock over the line to the goal. Off the iron and off of Ketty as both teams find metal but not mesh in round number 3. Nick Manilakos will be the 4th Latrobe shooter. Manilakos to the goal. Stopped by Porupski. Manilakos made his move but lost the handle with the last second, enabling the poke check. And once again, TJ has a chance to win it here. Scott Allen is the shooter. Allen to the goal. Score! Jaguars win. What a comeback by the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars as we get a little deja vu before the Bishop Canevin Crusaders put their unbeaten record on the line. Their season began with a come-from-behind shootout win, and they'll play the Carrick Cougars next as our Hockey Night Live doubleheader continues, sponsored by Hydro Blocks. In 4 shootout rounds, Thomas Jefferson defeats the Latrobe Wildcats 3-2. Your final score in the game, the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars 5, the Latrobe Wildcats 4. And listen to those cheers for Ronald Porupski, the backup goaltender. What a way to end it as the handshake line commences. Once again, it's Crusaders and Cougars next. I'm Matt Popchak. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the flip side here on PIHL Hockey Night Live on 10 Band TV, presented by Hydroblocks.